say and onward we will do. Now, journalism's challenges, I believe, are also part of a wider problem in our country at the moment, and I'm going to mention it briefly. To put it in the simplest of terms, civil, meaningful, intelligent, respectful, nourishing, educational, responsible, enlightening, healthy discourse is not really flourishing right now. There has been a coarsening of the exchanges of the issues and the ideas of politics and government. The noise levels of the exchanges have risen. Participants in the exchanges have grown too willing to question the motives of those who disagree with them. And an end result, in my opinion, is a growing inclination among some Americans of all ages and persuasions to turn their backs on politics and government, to essentially put their hands over their ears and shut it all out as if it were irrelevant to their lives. And in doing so, they are shutting out their Jeffersonian opportunity and, more importantly, responsibility to participate in the dialogue that a democracy such as ours requires in order to stay alive, to stay excited, to stay alive. There are no villains in this coarsening, in my view, only causes. One of them does involve people like me. Maybe not me specifically, hopefully, but people like me. Talk about the people who facilitate and moderate discourse on television, on radio, the printed press, and on the internet. Some of us need to understand that screaming across the football field is just fine, but not so fine across the table in a television studio or out of a radio speaker, or even for that matter, the page of a newspaper or a magazine, or a line in a blog. And the people in politics and government and public life, they are not all innocent bystanders and victims of the coarsening, in my opinion. It really is possible for them to refuse to take the bait, throw the mud, shout the insult, promote the smear. The politicians need to keep in mind a basic truth. When you play in the mud, whether you jump in first or second, you get just as dirty. And let's not let the people themselves off the hook. The people, the voters, the viewers, the listeners, the readers, the people who make the real decisions in our democratic society. I think they've got to put their earphones, remote controls, mouses, and newspapers, magazines, and books down as well as their foot. They've got to say to the shouting, insulting folks of all types on their side, as well as the other, to lower the volume, please, reduce the insults, get civil. I do not accept some of the media who excuse their excesses on grounds of, oh, we're just giving the public what it wants and expects. But I also do not excuse those in the public who say they consume the trash because that's all there is out there. Not true in either count, either expectation, in my opinion. In fact, finally, one way for all Americans to serve their country is by paying attention to the news. The facts, the basic work product of their favorite and most credible news organizations and outlets, by staying informed, by forming and expressing opinions, by questioning the opinions of others, particularly those who hold public office or who otherwise exercise public power, including those who write and edit the newspapers and magazines you read, report on and produce the radio and television programs you listen to and watch. Complain about things you do not like. Praise those you do. Ask questions about matters you do not understand. Be part of the dialogue, the debate, the decision-making in our democracy. Particularly right now, when we are at war, when we are about to choose a new president, the decisions we make could literally set the course of our nation and our society for years, if not centuries to come. They are too important to be left to the experts, the pundits, and the politicians, as smart as they are. We must all serve with our minds, our voices, and our hearts, and with the facts about what matters. Thank you, and good